Welcome back to this week's episode. I did an additional episode because with everything going on right now in the world, especially around my county and community, I wanted to do a special episode talking about perseverance, persistency, talking about the real hard stuff, how sometimes, we all go through it and it's hard and it's heartbreaking, but there's so much light at the end of it, and how we just kind of, in the words of Ricardo Hara, roll with the punches. So that's why I decided to invite Jobana. She is a social media marketer, and she's also has her own photography business, and she talks about her journey about going to college, leaving that behind, to her university, to pursue what really lit her up and what she really loved to do. And I loved her story, so I really hope you enjoy it as much as I did too, and get some additional information there on social media and tips that she shared with us. Me is that I love persistency. I think it's something so important for you to be persistent to get what you want. And many of you guys know me and have been following me for a while. You guys know, like, my whole journey and story has a lot of persistency in it. And she was so persistent. She wanted me to sign up for this one thing, and I was like, you know what? Do you want to come on my podcast? Because you have been so good at that. I think you'd be amazing example and amazing to sharing with all of us. Because if I thought I was persistent, girl, she says, let's move to the side. Move to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Jobana. How are you, hon?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming in and joining us in this. So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Jobana. I'm 25 years old currently, and I'm a stay-at-home mom to he's almost 10 months now.
Hmm.
And I am a wife, basically, at this point.
That's hard work, okay?
Right, I know. And then I also own a photography business here in Sonoma County. So I'm a photographer with my friend, Annabelle. And then, of course, I am a social media marketer for It Works Global.
Awesome. So tell me, how did you decide to do photography? Because you have two businesses, aside from being a mom and a wife. So how did you decide to get into photography, and why did you decide to do social media with It Works? And what is it? Because, we don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for photography, it was more like I was always interested in it. And I was really interested when I first took a class in high school freshman year. And I remember telling my parents that I really wanted my own camera so I could just take pictures of everything and anything. And they were like, okay, well, we'll see when that happens. We have to save up money. I was like, okay. I didn't really think about it. And then they surprised me that Christmas with my own actual camera. It was like a simple one, but it was like more than just that one click. So I learned how to use it.
Hey, we all start somewhere.
And then so I basically, I started taking pictures, but then I kind of got discouraged just because, for some reason, something in me was like, I really want to do this as a career. And when I told my parents that, they're like, you're not going to make money off this. That's just a hobby. And so that kind of brought me really down. And I kind of didn't pursue it anymore. And then I realized that I was going through college. I actually went to 4 years to Sonoma State.
Wow. I
don't actually have a degree, but I just had I took all the classes and everything. Basically how the photography thing went down. And so I did that, and while I was in classes or online classes, I was just working a regular 9-to-5 job and doing that. And then I got the courage to actually quit, to start the photography business.
That's awesome.
And I remember that day I was at my desk, and I was I think I was just writing because I was customer service through the phone. So I didn't really have to have face-to-face interactions. And so I would just be in my cubicle, and I would sometimes doodle or just jot down things that I was in my head. And I remember just starting to write, like, I'm gonna quit my job. I am gonna start my photography business. It's what's gonna happen. And like all this weight just lifted off my shoulders when I finally like made the decision that that was gonna happen. It was incredible.
You were like,
I've never had that feeling before.
You're like, bye everybody, I'm going after it.
Exactly. I was like, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, that's awesome. But I think it's so important too to like share that part that for us as mothers, you know, because like I have 3 kids, and it's just like the importance of letting them be who they want to be and encouraging them. I think like that's one of the lessons that I've learned, even as I'm older now and I've started over and I have my ideas and I was reinventing myself, is that allowing my children to be like, you don't have to be who you were yesterday, and you don't have to wait for somebody's expectations. And I don't know about you, but for me, and social media has made me so much stronger, because I'm like, girl, if you can handle opposition from your family, strangers is like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. I definitely agree with the fact that, you know, to let your children be who they are meant to be. Like, every baby is different. You would probably know. Like, I'm sure all of your children don't act the same, work the same growing up and everything. So every person is truly individual. And like, I firmly believe that a baby comes into this world already kind of not knowing who they are, but like in a sense they know their interests. Like, you know, there's babies are interested in certain things for some reason, you know, like whatever that reason may be, is something that's drawing them to that. And for us to like kind of like sway them away from that just because we feel like this is the path to success or this is the right way to do it, it kind of defeats the purpose, because then you're making them battle with each other. Like then they'll go through what I go through, like questioning your whole self. Like, you know, you don't know who you are until you like basically hit rock bottom, and you like kind of have no other choice but to go within and try to find yourself.
Yeah, and that's really hard to do too. And it takes a lot of bravery to do too. So props to you, girl, for having done that, because I know that ain't easy. So talk to us about your other jobs. So you do social media for them, or what do you do for them?
Yeah, so for like It Works, I do social media marketing, which is basically I use my platforms on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook is my 2 main ones. I slightly use TikTok, but that's more like personal, but I've kind of used it, not really. And I rarely sometimes use Snapchat as well.
Okay.
But, you know, this could be on any platform that you actually want to and feel comfortable sharing. But it's basically like I use the products myself, and I'm grateful for them because I've gained so much confidence from after having my first baby. And I was like hitting that depression station where like you're like, I just don't feel great in my body. Like it wasn't even the weight, it was just how I felt.
Yeah.
I just couldn't look myself in the mirror, and I was like, I don't want to go through this no more. I would cry randomly. You know how it is.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. I was like, well, I need to do something, you know? And my pregnancy was fine, actually, most of the whole time until the very, very end. I got that preeclampsia.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Blood pressure. Yeah, and it was intense, so I had to get induced. And so I didn't even have like the birth how I wanted it to be, and I had high blood pressure, and like I was highly stressed right after that, just because of everything coming in at once, and I had to deal with that. And so I was just like not in a great mental state, and these products like somehow have made me feel so much more comfortable. They've given me like mental clarity. Like I've just been able, like I had really bad eczema for some reason on my hands out of nowhere, and so I drink celery juice every morning, and I heard that it could clear it up, and it cleared up for me. So I was like, whoa, like that's crazy.
Yes.
But yeah.
I know my best friend loves celery juice. He drinks that thing every single day. Yeah. I'm like, we each have our own voice, you know, and we each are going to connect with different type of women, different type of audience. And it's so important to get your audience out there. And just because you help somebody out Just because there's community is not a competition. It's about empowering each other to go up, to the top together. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people are like, I don't know, I'm sure other people feel this way because I don't think I'm always the only one. Like, we always feel like we're the only one, and then we finally share it, and they're like, and you get a flood of people like, I thought I was the only one, you know? And so, like, it's true, our voice really does matter. And I had struggled with, like, really trying to, like, share anything because I always felt like, well, my story is not one to, like, move or inspire anyone really, and yet I've had random people say, oh, you've inspired me to, like, do so and so or whatever it is throughout my life, and I'm just like, how? Like, I don't understand. And it was just because I was finally myself in those moments. And so I feel like the more that we're just share what you personally have gone through, you're gonna, like, even if it's one person who needs to hear it, one person, like, that one person can go and inspire even more people. Like, if that's your job in this world, just know that that's, like, your purpose. And, like, it's just, I feel like the whole thing of, like, we need purpose and fulfillment, it needs to be so, like, big. But sometimes it's like the smallest thing, and we take that, like, for granted, and we don't think about it. It's just crazy.
And it's true, like, honestly, and I always think, like, you have to have purpose. Like, we all need to know our why. And our why has to be so much greater than us, because I feel like the more you focus on helping others, the more you can make a change around you. And for me, it's, like, always been like, I'm not going to live forever. I know you guys sounds a little morbid, but let's be real. I'm not going to be here forever, but I want to, like, leave, like, my little, like, footprint in the world that, like, oh, like, you know what? She was, like, a good person and she helped others out, because I've been on the other side when you're beginning and nobody wants to help you out, or nobody wants to listen to you, or, like, oh, she's being freaking weird or judging you, whatever. Like, no, I'm like, and your authenticity, like you were talking about, just being who you are. It's so important, you guys, for whatever business you do. I don't care. You don't have to swear like me or be like me, but, like, you have to be who you are, because people interact with people. And and so I think sometimes we just get, like, as business owners and starting our own business, we think it's all about the business, and it's not.
Right. It's about the person.
Exactly.
Like, how are you going to make other people relate to you? That's how you make, true connection, especially through social media,
Yeah.
Where, like, how you were saying, you can have the perfect Instagram, you can have all of your whole thing have the perfect theme, whatever it is, but, like, how am I getting value from that? Like,
exactly.
It just looks good.
It looks good, and then I feel bad. Then I'm like,
really good.
Why should I post? Like, that's what used to happen to me in the beginning. Like, well, I am not as good as her, so why am I even gonna post my stuff up? Because it's not even that, and it goes to a comparison game. And that's why everybody's like, why don't you have this pretty? I'm like, I could have pretty, and I know how to do a lot of things. I just don't do it, because for me, it's about being authentic and being who I am and encouraging. Because, like you said, the DMs. When you get a DM, like, you know what, Celeste, like, you encourage me to try to do a video, or you encourage me to try to do, try maybe go to school, or try to this, or be different, or be true to myself. That's what I want to do. Like, for me, it's not about the whole curated thing, because I feel like it can get so hard on us, especially as women, be this way. And we already have so much pressure around us that Instagram for me is like my fun little platform where I can just be myself,
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't lose sleep over that one. I would have 3 kids to lose sleep over. Goodness gracious.
There you go, exactly.
But is it
stress yourself too much?
Hell no. Stress is horrible, you guys. Like, you guys know, like, I'm on my, like, little weight loss journey, which I've done, like, already 4 times before in my life. So I know I can do it again. But I'm just taking everybody kind of along with it, because again, the whole thing, like, well, I'm, like, at this size, I can't go down, or, what it really means for you. So, but anyways, so is there anything else you would like to share with us about persistency and, like, what you've learned so far, and what are your goals for the future?
Well, as for being persistent, honestly, if you find something that you're truly passionate about, it's not going to feel like, I don't know, because I feel like persistency is just kind of like discipline, and it takes a lot to be disciplined in it. And we all have like choices in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm reading a book called It Takes What It Takes, which talks about this. It's more like kind of talking about sports athletes, but in a sense, this can be related to business, just personal development or anything. But like the things that we choose to do, I don't even know how to explain it. Okay, so like
It's okay, girl, let it out.
Okay. Well, like I feel like we all have thousands of choices that we like what we can do in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we can either be scrolling. Like I chose to do the social media marketing because I'm like, well, I'm already on social media. Let me make it productive. Let me make it and that I can inspire and change other people's lives, and just like I chose not to do something so mindless.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it.
Yes.
It makes sense. Yeah. So we all have the choices to do either things that are in a sense fun for the moment, or we all want to change our lives and do this, but are you like willing to choose the things that it takes to go to where you want to go?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what persistency is, and discipline is like actually willing to choose the things that will give you the outcome that you truly want for yourself in the bigger picture, and stop choosing the things that just give you the temporary satisfaction or the temporary
Amen.
like, oh, I feel better now, like that's definitely one thing that I'm working through too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could choose to be like scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and I'm just like, wait, stop, because I need to do something that's productive. Like I've catched myself, but in the past I wouldn't catch myself. I would just keep scrolling and scrolling, and then there goes an hour. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. I just wasted a whole hour, and I'm like, and I can choose to like sit down and watch Netflix. And I'm like, wait, there goes 5 hours. I don't know.
You're like, I got lost.
There goes all my sleep.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
true.
So it's like, how much do you care about your own self to be willing to choose the things that seem really hard right now to get to that real, like that good, better version of yourself that you can be.
Yeah.
If you were to stay persistent and disciplined throughout the choices that you make. And that goes for fitness too, because like we can choose to eat the cookie that we really want, or we can choose to eat the apple that we kind of don't want, obviously, but we know is better. But
well,
we
yeah.
don't know what the right choice is, but in the moment it's just sometimes it's hard to choose the right thing.
Thank you so much, Jobana, for sharing your story, and for all my listeners today. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're dealing with right now. And I don't know, because I haven't been in everybody's shoes, how you're feeling and what that really feels like. But I can tell you this. If we choose to persevere, no matter what life challenges happens, and sometimes perseverance and just keep going is messy. Sometimes it's just getting out of bed and, getting it done with a messy bun. And sometimes it's just doing the work and we know we don't want to. But if you keep moving forward, I know from my own life and, just like Jobana's story here, we'll be able to move forward to a new page, to a new beginning, and it will only make us stronger. But give yourself that grace. Give yourself that grace to feel, to be, and to do whatever you need to at that time that you're going through a hard thing. But just make sure to keep persevering. So just do one thing this week. Just write down one thing that you're going to do for yourself. Whether it's if you need to take a break, if you need to get a little one thing done, to check off your list, whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. Make sure that you keep persevering towards your goals and your dreams. I can't wait to be back here next week. Have an amazing weekend.